Habari Africa, mimi ni King, nina furaha kukutana na wewe. Asante kwa kutazama King Cyril. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, another week, another distraction. I always tell you, my African people, that we as Africans are easily distracted by things that are happening around us and things that are catching headlines. And this week is Elon Musk. This week is America. This week is Cyril Ramaphosa and his team from South Africa who are going to America to explain themselves to the President of America for what I don't understand. Now, it is quite clear that Cyril Ramaphosa has put his best team forward, that he wants to represent South Africa in a good tone. Many people are saying this man is going to sell us out. And we are finally understanding why is it that America is fighting with South Africa with the interview that Elon Musk had. It looks like all of this is not really about Israel, even though it is. It's not really about the Afrikaner people who have fled our country, the 49, fearing genocide, but left their mothers behind. It's not really about the 142 laws that are saying it's a racial laws. It's about Starlink coming to South Africa. Yeah, now we understand what is going on. The arrogant Elon Musk is going to make sure that he gets everything that he wants. The richest man in the world. He fears that South Africa is genocide attacks on the Afrikaner farmers, but then the same country that says has got racial laws, has got everything against him, he wants to make business in that country. That shows you just how special we South Africans are. That even the richest man who bombards us with lies and attacks us each and every day still wants to do business in South Africa. The ground is fertile, ma Africa. Vukani. Let's talk about that, Paseta, and much more. Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Cyril. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane, Hosi Njiva Ngwane Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, we are distracted with the drama that is happening in America. Is it not funny how we are running to America to explain ourselves as if America is our parent and we have to explain every little action that we are taking? Hey, my favorite, just so that you know, this episode was proudly brought to you by Ntsiki Real Estate. Ntsiki Real Estate has taken a position to support the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture, not only by mentorship, but financially so. They have claimed their space in Paseta. Ntsiki Real Estate has said they will put a hand in making sure that the dream of Paseta comes through. So I want to shout out to Ntsiki Real Estate for assisting us as Paseta and holding our hand in directing us into the right path, especially financially. So your company should also be sponsoring a young initiative and movement like Paseta, just like the way Ntsiki Real Estate is doing. So we are proudly, working with them and making sure that we get the best financial and mentorship, because that's very important. We are young people. We also need the mentorship side of trying to keep us focused in achieving our goal at Paseta. We really appreciate each and everyone sending their 50 rands. We really appreciate each and everyone buying their pallet of bricks through the Mike Khatebe campaign. We really appreciate each and every support that you are giving us, my African people. So thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing. The messages that you are sending of encouragement on the comment sections, the messages of encouragement that you are sending on our website, www.paseta.co.za, it really makes a difference, ladies and gentlemen. We really need it, because it's not easy doing what we are doing. Thank you so much to Ntsiki Real Estate. Now, ladies and gentlemen, where must I start with this issue of America and South Africa? Okay, let me start by saying we are again distracted as African people. The distraction is there. Why? So that we don't focus on uniting, so that we don't focus on building, so that we don't keep focus on what is it that we need as African people. I always say that African people must always remember that there is something that we call a generational target, a generational mission that must be accomplished in every generation. Because if a generation skips its mission, that mission unsolved the problem runs over and carries over to the next generation. So whatever your parents could not conquer, you will have to face those demons and conquer them yourself. Because if you don't, then your children will have to face the same demons to conquer them. So poverty gets transferred from one generation to generation. A hustler's mentality gets transferred from one generation to one generation. And every generation has to consciously make a decision to say, what is it that they entertain and what is it that they don't entertain? And what is it that they will fall over for and what is it that they will fight against? That is very important. So again, we find ourselves as African people having to be distracted again. This whole 2 weeks is going to be dedicated to America. That is what is going to happen. Today, the budget will be tabled, and hopefully it will be passed. I don't know what is going to happen in Parliament, because I see politics as one of those distractions that continue to distract us as African people, not to build for ourselves. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So now let's jump into it. Our president is in America. Our president, our loving president, is in America. Cyril Ramaphosa has got a mission and a half. But Cyril Ramaphosa is not like me and you. Cyril Ramaphosa is a man that has dealt with the Oppenheimers on a very personal level and political level for a long time, including Johan Rupert. You can see it's been said that Rupert himself is there. So people say this man is a good negotiator. For me, this will be telling. The outcome of whatever is going to happen is going to be telling. From where we stand, from a Pan-Africanist point of view, we are compromised. We are going to continue to sell out our country even further. From where we are standing, but there is just that Pan-Africanist heart or hope that hopes that there is at least a 1% of African patrioticness in the heart of Cyril Ramaphosa. I'm sure there is some in the whole team, but I hope that he will be able to voice it out. Remember, he's got videos that out that say Trump must keep his America, we will keep our South Africa, and all of those things. That type of character is the character that we need now, that we definitely not going to get. South Africa is cautiously walking on eggshells, tiptoeing around America and how they're gonna deal with them. I see the whole team is there. They have met, preparing the president for the questions that are to come, because I mean, the air is thick in the room. They can read the tension, so they know what Cyril Ramaphosa will be asked. They know what type of angle America will be attacking. So they are preparing in terms of the 42 laws, racial laws that are being, the propaganda that is pushed by Elon Musk against South Africa. They are ready for that. They are completely ready for that. They're going to show him the laws. I hope they printed them down. They said, yeah, the laws. You tell us where are we going all wrong here, because we're trying to reform and try to create an equal playing field for African people and the settlers that are there. So it is going to be very interesting to understand what is going on. And this is exactly what you get when you don't develop your country for 31 years. You find yourself begging and explaining yourself like a little naughty child to the bigger economies, where we don't really need to. We don't really need to. Burkina Faso is a much smaller country than South Africa in many measures. But Burkina Faso managed to tell France, managed to tell America to say, get your troops out. Get out. The same goes with Niger. The same goes with Mali. They managed to stand and say, we are going to own the minerals of our country. We are going to drive the economical agenda in our country. Why is it that South Africa can't do that? Because let me tell you, Russia, China, India, Brazil, and all of these other countries will respect South Africa more if they did it. Now we have a budget that is going to be passed without the presence of the president, and it might be the first time. I might have missed something, but it might be the first time. So one thing that you should always remember when we are getting distracted as African people is that there is more than what meets the eye. There's things that are happening in the background. There's reasons why those politicians are there, far beyond what is being played out on mainstream media. That one you must always remember. You must always remember that one. But anyways, I hope you guys, when you listen to King Says So each and every day, when you see a headline on the news, you say, what are we being distracted for, and why this distraction? I hope you look at things in an analytic eye like that. But I want us to listen to Elon Musk. He had a short interview. It has since went viral. And of course, when you go on X, it is there. It is his platform. They are pushing it. The arrogance of the settler is finally showing up. It's not finally showing up. He's always been arrogant. He's always been cocky. That's his character. What you see there is his character. He does not take people's feelings into account. He's always right and everything. What you see there is what Elon Musk, that's how Elon Musk is. And if you don't believe, go and ask his father and listen to what his father says about him. So now I want us to listen to this and just listen to how, how Cyril se kakeni. Si se kakeni, Cyril, all of us. Let's quickly listen to this interview.
First of all, you should be questioning why are there racist laws in South Africa? That's the first problem. That's what you should be attacking. It's improper for there to be racist laws in South Africa. The whole idea with what Nelson Mandela, who was a great man, proposed was that all races should be on an equal footing in South Africa. That's the right thing to do, not to replace one set of racist laws with another set of racist laws, which is utterly wrong and improper. So that's the deal, that all races should be treated equally, and there should be no preference given to one or the other. Whereas there are now 140 laws in South Africa that give that basically give strong preference to if you're a black South African, and not otherwise. And so now I'm in this absurd situation where I was born in South Africa but cannot get a license to operate in Starlink because I'm not black.
Well, it looks like that's about. Looks like that's about to change.
I just asked you a question. Please answer. Does that seem right to you?
Well, those rules were designed to bring.
Yes or no?
Those rules were designed to bring about an era of more economic equality in South Africa, and it looks like the government has found a way around those rules for you.
I ask you a question.
This is your interview. Everyone wants to hear from you.
I ask you a question. Yes or no?
Not for
Racist
me.
laws, yes or no?
Not for me to answer. I have got a question for you about your government
must
work
like
though and the
racist laws,
amount of
then.
savings.
Why do you like racist laws?
This is not for me to answer. Come on.
Yes, it is.
Now, you wouldn't be trying to dodge a question.
You have to
That
ask
is
the question.
difficult for
I
you
answer
to
my
answer.
question. No, you answer mine.
I think if you, I'm sure you can have that conversation directly with the South African government if you want to. I want to ask you about the
I
total.
can't believe it. That's not good.
This is what we must entertain. Really? This is the type of attitude that we must entertain. This is the type of attitude we must entertain. That why is there racist laws in South Africa? Which racist laws? Which racist laws? I Bafetu, I know. No. This level of arrogance, even the ANC can't compete with this. Even the ANC cannot compete with this. You know, we are trying to create equality in our country because of the historical injustices that was bestowed upon us by the apartheid regime, of which his family benefited like nobody else. His family, when you listen to his father's interview, he can tell they gained their wealth during apartheid. Today is the same man that does not want us as African people to be proud in saying the history of our country affected black people negatively and white people positively. So we have to find a way to close the gap between the two. I was born in South Africa, but I cannot start a business here. Why do you want to start a business here? You just said South Africa is anti-white. There's genocide, all of those things that you said about South Africa. Why do you then want to start a business here? And what type of nonsense are you talking? Do you know that the richest man in South Africa is a white man? In fact, Johan Rupert is the richest man in Africa, by the way, for those who don't know. He's got multiple businesses in South Africa. He's abiding by our rules and you don't. We must now make an exception for Elon Musk. Utugi cherry, one was febe, man was febe, but you're jiga food to full jolanai. What type of childish tactics is this? Usna Otambo said properly. He's running two parallel things that don't make sense. You are attacking South Africa, but at the same time you want to make business with South Africa. Warinyela serious. And now you're asking the reporter about Starlink. Listen, we all know about Starlink. The people who don't know what Starlink is a satellite internet company, and it is all over the world. But listen to this: there was a time in Ukraine that they were fearing, because of their conflict with America, that they were fearing that Elon Musk can shut down Starlink in the Ukraine, and it would have rendered that country. Just imagine in South Africa if Vodacom and MTN closed, shut down, no network, no nothing. Just imagine what will happen in South Africa. That's why we are crying with this issue of monopolizing industries that sectors where South Africans are dependent on: water, electricity, Transnet, the railway. All of those things, our government needs to have a big hand in those things. Or otherwise, if people take it and monopolize it, we are never going to recover. The same fear was there about Tesla. When they were having this fight with Canada, say, can Elon Musk actually switch off all the Tesla cars? Can he switch them off? Because remember, all of them are connected to his other company, which is SpaceX. They are all interlinked and connected to that, because you have to work from space to connect Starlink and Tesla cars for mapping and everything. So that risk, as a national security risk, we don't want to carry it on our shoulder. Elon Musk has already shown us the arrogance that he has, so we cannot want him to run a business like that. He can open a ShopRite or a Checkers or a franchise or something, but not when it comes to internet and information. You guys understand what we are saying here? That is what we are crying about today in as respect to Starlink starting in South Africa. Maybe it will be a good company, maybe it will do good for South Africans, but it will be carried by the wrong person, just like X is. And I don't know why I've got a blue tick on X. I'm just paying mahala because I don't really tweet that much. Yeah, maybe you should follow me there and I'll start tweeting more. I'm not an X. I go to X for information, but I'm not active on X, and I really need to start being more active on social media platforms. I'm just a YouTube guy. You go on my TikTok. Well, TikTok is a little bit better. I post now and then. You go on my Facebook. Not so much. X, not so much. I don't have other platforms. Also, I'm not even too active even on WhatsApp. But anyways, I was just saying that to say this. African people, if we were united, let's say the government decides, okay, no, we are not going to listen to South Africans. We are not going to listen to the EFF. Nobody's going to control us. We are going there to make a deal that Starlink must come to South Africa. Do you know, if we as the community are united, we can block that by not supporting it at all? But the problem is that we are divided. I want faster internet, I want everything. This thing, Starlink, is fine with me, not understanding the political impact and the ethical awareness of what is going on. South Africans can choose not to support Johan Rupert's businesses. We can choose. The black power has got the buying power. That's where our power is. It lies in our numbers. No company in the world can survive without the black people buying into it. No company. You have to have the buy-in from African people. And it's very easy because African people are divided. If Starlink opens and we say we hate Starlink, we are not going to support Starlink, there will be African black people who are going to say, we are going to support Starlink no matter what. That's how we African people are. And that's why, Paseta, you have to teach a mentality from school, because we were taught division from school. That's why we find ourselves here. Even if you come with whatever fashion that you want to come with, there's other countries that will decline it. About India and all of, they are just so proud of their heritage and proud of their awareness of who they are, that they will not easily support what comes from outside their country. But Tina, there is a gap there. There is a gap. Which African company is going to enter that gap? That's all I'm going to ask. So, Johan Rupert, what is he doing there also in America? Why is he even mentioned? Hey, money carries power, Wafid. Money carries power. Money carries power. Money carries power. That's why you see the Elon Musk fighting to get into South Africa. Money carries power, and power and control is something that's very important to our colonizers. It's not about Johan Rupert will not leave South Africa for good, even if he stays in other countries and come back here. Here he will have something that he can't have in Europe, and that is control over government. And that's what Elon Musk has achieved in America: control over government. People call him the real president. He's the one that really makes the decision. And if that case is indeed true, then sisekakeni as African people. It means that our president tonight is going to be embarrassed. We have been distracted enough. I've spoken about this topic enough. There's more I want to say, but I've said enough, man. There's nothing we're going to gain really as African people. And I'm just doing this so that you guys can hear my point of view and share your point of view on the comment section. What do you think is going to happen tonight, 8 o'clock, as our president and his team meets with Donald Trump? Drama, and more drama. That is what is going to happen. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And thank you so much for Ntsike Real Estate for sponsoring us at Baseta and always supporting King Says So. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best and allow God to do the rest. Peace. Pan-Africanism. I salute you.